you can very quickly go down, so he doesn't really risk it. And he does want to put Setsu under a little bit of pressure, but unfortunately for him, Setsu's already just about got enough for his bottle, so yeah, he's just going to raise a range creep and get the money he needs for his bottle, because he knows once he has this, he can control this lane very well in the Shadow Fiend.
Meanwhile, Zhao 8 kind of going over towards top, and Mark Gordon was now shifting over towards bottom, which gave him that opportunity. He's here with Flyby. They go after Zhao 8. Apu moving forward, and I mean, they lose the Brewmaster top, but they get a kill over bottom on the Zhao 8.
Yeah, this is the, I mean, I mentioned the Viper may be more suited to this side lane role just because he doesn't do well in most mid 1v1 matchups, which is what we're seeing here. I hadn't seen it until this game, but at the same time, he's still not a strong laner in the side lanes. He's just a little bit better than he would otherwise be. And watching Zhao 8, he looks a little bit rusty. He's missing some last hits. You know, he hasn't been playing competitive Dota for a while, and also coming into play as a core rather than, you know, a support or something is a very big difference.
He's got to hone the skills of the days past.
Yeah. I mean, he's had his time, like, you go way back, he played mid for a while, he even played off lane, so it wasn't until more recently when he was playing competitive towards the end of his career where he was primarily a support, but Zhao, it was always a fairly flexible player when it came to his role.
Well, he was playing support, I would say, most recently was, what, with Big God? Or was it that long ago? Or
yeah,
more recent?
I think Big God or whatever, like some of those kind of meme teams. Like, I mean, I don't really consider those, I guess, real competitive teams, but land on top.
Yeah, again, over top in a lot of trouble. Ego is taking a couple of shots. He feels a little bit uncomfortable, but he knows Innocence has got the damage. The Warcry is going to keep him alive, and they'll get yet another kill here onto this Brewmaster top, which is nice.
Yep. I think for Zhao 8, he's just always been really good on the, like, strategic tempo controller roles. Like, when he won TI as an offlaner, when he was playing on Newbie at TI4, it was, like, after that where he kind of switched back to playing support more. But when he was on LGD before that, he was playing mid, when it was, like, him, mid, Yao playing offlane. So he's kind of switched between different core roles. But he was never, like, these greedy mids or these kind of carry-style mids. It was always, like, playing these more team-oriented heroes.
Dire are scanning.
Sometimes I wish for the days past. Go back, but Innocence, I think it's tossed and gets the Stormhammer off. Setsu getting ganked real heavily, but meanwhile, bottom will get the kill here on Zhao 8. So they go over mid, they get a kill, and then bottom, Zhao 8 drops, and it's a trade.
Yep, one of the best ways to deal with an SF is just gank him. He's got no escape, he's got no disables or slows to throw at you. It's, you gank an SF, and it's one way to kind of cripple his game a bit because he does lose those souls as well.
Innocence. I don't know if he
but they're gonna find him now.
Coming, but Apu was this stand-up of sorts, but the Stormhammer still comes out into Setsu, and then the Avalanche on top of it, the Warcry. He's able to survive the illuminate hits on a couple of these heroes.
Dying.
Oh,
nope.
Okay. 19.
Yeah, just level 1 poison touch, so didn't have the longest duration or damage on it once they weren't right-clicking him.
But I mean, that was 30 seconds of them not knowing he was just in the trees right there. But they didn't see him come down to the river, so they had to assume that he was either still in the lane or TP'd out. They send off around back over towards mid. I believe Jingqiu caught a glimpse of that. And also bring Innocence back over. The poison touch hits on 2. The Raze comes in with Flyby making the rotation over. The Stormhammer's going to hit on the Flyby. The 4th hero is here. And now they're under the tier 1 tower trying to get these kills, but it's not enough damage. They look back over as the toss comes through. There's Innocence moving forward. He's got Stormhammer in 4 seconds, but it's not even going to be needed as Setsu bites the dust, and Tian Ming gets credit for that kill. 4 heroes coming over for RNG to start that off.
And then 5 from EHOME in response. That was 9 heroes in mid lane. The only person not there was Monet's Arc Warden. We're 7 minutes in, guys. Come down a little bit. You don't need 5-man lanes yet, but I don't blame them. Your mid laner's getting 4-man dived. You're going to respond to that, and they sure as hell do.
Go over bottom on the team. Ming Monet is here with the Spark Rates as well as just Flyby in the way and also having that void. And it looks as though, you know, Zhao Wei coming back over mid, he's doing a lot of damage here to set to and kind of taking over. Meanwhile, top, Innocent's over with Ego. They'll get a kill on Alanum, and Xingqiu over bottom ends up dying.
Much bigger kill on the Tiny, though. That's the mid lane Tiny, who's level 7, going down. I like what we're seeing from Flyby this game. He's getting very active and involved. He's been involved in 4 kills already. Much better than the last game. RNG, yeah, they won with his Night Stalker, but it didn't look good in the early to mid game. It took a long time before it could get involved.
Final anime again. Venomous Cow comes through with the Stormhammer. Just a little bit of harassment coming his way. Meanwhile, Flyby had to leave lane as he was getting a little bit low. 6-5 so far. Top of the net worth is Ego. He hasn't really been too bothered here in this top lane, and he's 2-1-4, so he's been involved in every single kill that EHOME's been a part of, or well, they're at. And again, Lanham in a little bit of trouble with the Stormhammer and the Venomous Cow coming out. That forces 2 rotations over. Well, the second one doesn't come through, but the TP out.
It's both Veno, Ego, and the Sven of Innocence who've been in all 6 of these kills, so the 2 players who've kind of set the tempo here in the early game for them. Similar story with some of RNG. Surprisingly, Monet's the Arc one has been in all 5 of their kills, so partly due to just where they've happened. The dive on top, Afu.
Yeah, they've got Afu with the Avalanche coming through. He's shallow brings, but he doesn't have a TP, so he is looking for some sort of escape, but that was mission impossible there. And it's another kill here for EHOME, and yet another one that Ego's going to be involved in.
Decent chunk of gold for a support kill, considering he had that 3-hero kill spree, and Tiny gonna be happy with that, as he was starting to fall a little bit behind after his previous death. And EHOME followed up by Ego taking this top tier 1 tower. Well, Night Stalker thought someone was hiding down here, but completely guesses wrong with the Dark Ascension usage. There was nobody down here at all.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So just clean up the creeps and put some pressure on this bottom tier 1 tower. Looks like they're just gonna grab it for free.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Veno has a Midas recipe coming out. Yep, so Ego's gonna be going for a Midas. Yeah, let's check on Midas Watch. How many Midases we're looking at? Viper's got one coming. That's probably all for the Radiant and Dire side. Night Stalker not going for him. We've only got we've got the 1 on the Arc Warden, so possibly see 3 Midases this game in total.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Probably the average for what is becoming Midas gaming.
Yep. And we could see more. We may see like a Brewmaster or a Night Stalker. Like, I like the item a lot on Night Stalker, but he seems to be committing to smaller items already.
Still trying to get this tier 1 tower. They've got 4 heroes here. Flyby nearby with momentum. They have to be careful because the toss comes in, and that's going to be the Stormhammer following it up.
They can't commit too much on a Brewmaster. He's got Primal Split, so they'll take towers.
They're a little bit too far behind.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
They get that tower. They grab the Midas here on the Zhao Wei the whole time, and they're kind of forcing RNG to be a little bit all over this map, where they brought what 3 heroes towards mid, though they didn't defend that 2-1 tower. I mean, that's opening up space for Ego. Yeah, he's gone into the Midas, but this is a lot of farm going his way.
Yeah, you're much more worried, I think, about Monet's Arc Warden. He's got double Midas going. So yeah, there is a 4th Midas. It's Monet with 2. With his clone, so he's going to be power farming his way to the top of the net worth chat. I would say give it 10 minutes, and he's probably going to be at least a couple thousand gold ahead of everyone in the game, unless EHOME are crushing team fights and taking a lot of towers. So they're going to have to find some way of dealing with this Arc Warden at some point.
Seems like Monet has barely been touched. He hasn't died yet. He's involved in all 5 of the kills that the side of RNG has. Only 7-5, 12 minutes in, so about a kill a minute. And, well, again, he's just sitting here over top while the rest of the team is kind of farming away as well.
Happy to just sit in this lane, keep the pressure on this tower. I mean, it's not going down fast, but over time these Venom wards will just keep chipping away at it. Night Stalker down bottom is hunting the Coddle. This is what Coddle can be so good at. No, the Night Stalker can be so good against the Coddle, and he gets out of the Will-O-Wisp, so gets the kill.
Will-O-Wisp gets used. Flyby, he also uses his Dark Ascension, though, and they end up getting the kill onto the Kato. Meanwhile, though, top. I mean, EHOME is pretty deep under this tower as Q just runs under with haste. Finds a dazzle, gets the kill. Viper Strike's going to be used here on the Night Stalker. They've also got Ego using his ult, so Flyby trying to run away, but there's the toss, and with the break, they get a kill.
Poison everywhere.
I mean, that's the kill there.
The Venom Viper strats, all the slows, all the toxic Venom just flying around. Netotoxin poison attacks, Venomous Gales and Poison Sings. Nasty stuff as RNG get caught by surprise up there.
You usually only see this many dots in a game of like, oh, maybe a WoW raid. It's rare that you see a game of Dota have this much, this many damage over time abilities happening at the same time.
We don't get the tier 2 tower to follow that one up. Again, it's the Cuddle. Jan Ming running into Lanham, and he may get solo killed here by the Brewmaster. Trying to suicide. Yeah, he is.
Almost split down.
It's just...
And Dark Ascension before.
It is a 4th position Cuddle. Like, Cuddle's kind of been given the bottom lane to farm and push out, so it's something. Since they want to get these Cuddle items up, the 4-staff, the Glimmer Capes, these kind of team items that can help you a lot, but... yeah, eating ultimates for it. I mean, they win that top fight because Night Stalker doesn't have ultimate. If he can make it darkness and get the flying Dark Ascension bonus damage, it would have been a very different outcome.
Q, he finishes off his Midas. You've got Viper with his as well as Venomancer with his. So I think Q had Blink queued and then ended up just full out purchasing a Midas.
What are we looking at from some of these other heroes? Monet's got the Maelstrom, so he's farming nice and fast. We'll see how early. He may get the boosted travel before he completes the Mjolnir. Having that global mobility is just going to boost his farm even more. This feels like one of those slower games that both teams are going to be farming a lot in, or at least the RNG side is going to be farming a lot in. Here come the bounty runes.
Guy comes over with the Dark Ascension used, and I mean, that didn't really find much for him.
Yeah, just trying to get the bounty rune, but Zhao just says, nah, this is mine. I'm by myself, but I'm going to take this anyways. Here come EHOME though into the enemy jungle, but it is now nighttime.
They're wrapping all the way around. They might be able to get a kill on Adam. He does not have the primal split. So a deep ward placed here behind the tier 2 tower, and with that the Brew actually TP down towards bottom. And this is opening up a decent chunk of space for EHOME, but at the same time, we were talking about it earlier and kind of bringing it up every so often. Monet's just farming away.
Oh, they caught SF.
Go with the Will-O-Wisp. There's the toss. Stormhammer coming out on a Setsu. He's got the Yule. He uses it on himself down into the Venomous Gale. The toss once again. The Death Requiem comes through, but it's not going to get a kill. And they get themselves Setsu so far, but Avalanche also comes out. That's just the Tempest double.
He wants that money. Give me that gold, he says. I believe Carlo got it? The Illuminate? Decent chunk of gold when you kill those.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower.
I like this too. If you want to be able to keep the pressure on, get these towers kind of choke the map out. Maybe you can find Monet a little bit later.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, this SF until he has a BKB is going to be very vulnerable in these fights. He gets caught out by the Arc Warden here. Can they chase him down? I believe he's just straight up dead. Monet's going to TP home. Nice little solo kill, and yep, talked about this. Give it 5-10 minutes, and Monet is going to be topping the net worth chart and starting to get out of control. He's at 9k net worth, 1k-ish above the Veno, and that gap is just going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, they haven't really done much about this Arc Warden, and if you're EHOME, you should kind of be scared. I mean, he's got the Midas, he's already got Mjolnir, he's 2-0-4. Like, he's done enough right now to put himself almost 2,000 ahead of the next hero in network.
As the Tempest out for his another double Midas, and well, he was 1k ahead of Veno, now he's almost 2k ahead of Veno. It doesn't take much for him to accelerate. Meanwhile, Veno, who is dead, not going to use his Midas. And Veno's just not a farming hero. He's not moving around the map, doesn't have these right-click items. He's going for the team items, the 4-staff and the Greaves. The worry is very much like, how is Radiant going late game? They have this Midas on Tiny. They went, I guess that's how they're doing it. They're going triple Midas. There's your answer. Triple Midas, let's go late game. I saw Tiny, I'm like, how's this guy scaling? He's got Boots of Travel as his only item. But then, yeah, I guess with a Midas and Viper, 4-staff Midas, these heroes all went for non-carry items, but with a Midas, they're still going to scale very well because they're just going to level a lot faster. They're going to guarantee that they can keep buying more items, even though they don't have carry farming items. Midas just brings you gold. So, you know, they're taking a different approach to this game, saying, you know, we're going late game against an Arc Warden. We don't have the better carries, but we're going to have 3 at least.
Any of these heroes, doesn't look like it. I was looking to see if there's any cooldown reduction, because I was watching Drow yesterday with that 50% cooldown reduction, had a Midas with BKB, and it was just like, that's super efficient when you've got that Midas, you know, half the time. But I was looking around to see if there was any more, you know, reduction on the cooldowns, and none of the heroes that have the Midas have it.
Well, maybe they just wanted to out Midas the Dire, you know? They're like, okay, Arc Warden, you got 2, that means we need 3 Midases.
Or as I say, that Arc Warden has an 8%, but that's not 50% Drow has.
Yeah. Not like the old, like, I mean, even like Enigma and stuff used to go Midas because of that really good cooldown reduction talent. But here we go. What are we in for? Very slow farming game. That's where things are at right now. Innocence will TP into Lanham's Brewmaster, but he actually may be in some trouble, Innocence.
He's got to be careful. Flyby comes over. They've also got Apu. He's right by a shrine that is up in 4 seconds. So maybe he doubles back. He's got the war cry. Zhao Wei coming over. Nightstalker has to be a little bit careful. Flyby trying to get out of here. And there's the toss. They've got the Venomous Gale to come out onto Flyby.
And they try to TP out from the high ground. But he's
they should be able to get this kill.
Yeah, a bit aggressive. And Lanham not coming in. If you want to go for that kill, I think you just have to use a Brewmaster split. Can't just stand around throwing Cinder Brew and missing your Thunderclap. It's a level 1 Thunderclap. Wouldn't have made a huge difference, but gotta hit those spells sometimes. But space for Arc Warden, you know. Anytime something like that happens, even though you are losing a 3-position hero, you just look over your Arc Warden, you see him free farming, pushing lanes, double minusing, you see his item progression. You gotta feel pretty good if you're RNG that this game is going at a good pace, because nobody matches up against Arc Warden 1-to-1. The question is going to be whether EHOME can match up to him like, you know, 3-to-1 or 3-to-2, because SF is also scaling well. It's not just Arc Warden, they've got 2 undealt with carries who are just free farming away.
Yeah, Setsu had a little bit of a rough time in lane, but I mean, since then, since that 3rd death, he hasn't been touched. He's just continuing to farm. He's got a Yules as well as the BKB going into a Blink Dagger, that Blink Yules Requiem try. I mean, he is looking quite strong right now. It seems to be what looked to be aggressive from EHOME to start has slowed down quite a bit.
Yeah, I think they just don't have good catch as a big part of it. Tiny is the extent of it, and he's got a Blink Dagger now. He went Boots of Travel Midas before he got a Blink, which kind of speaks to their lack of ability to go around finding kills. They were able to go around finding towers. So their aggression came in the form of, you know, 5-manning down a lane, taking some towers out, not so much in the form of getting kills, which this game has been a little bit lacking of.
We're averaging 1 for every minute, but it's kind of slowed down, and it's become a little bit of a farming game. And it's still relatively close. Zhao Wei as well as Innocence are going to be inside the jungle. They spot this huge stack, and maybe we're going to try and contest it, but the Shao Grave comes out immediately as they're trying to get this Tazo away. There's the Requiem thrown from Percentage, who also has that 10-second BKB. The Spark Wraith is going to be laid down right on top of Zhao Wei. Monet coming over the Viper Strike is thrown, as well as the Storm Hammer. But that's all at the Illusion, and Lanham, he comes through. Meanwhile, off-screen, Flyby is going to get the kill on Eagle. They continue to chase on to Zhao Wei. They should be able to find this kill. Apu finally falls. The war cry comes out, so it's keeping him alive a little bit longer, but right there is Flyby with the help of his team, so they're able to take on Zhao Wei. That's going to be 2 heroes dead. Coddle has to be careful with his positioning because he's losing Innocence and now needs to back off. Jingqiu blinks in, gets the toss, gets the kill on Lanham. So it's a 2 for 3 so far, and Tian Ming,
he's out.
It's the TP out.
Still a 1 fight for RNG. They're 2 carries, like a SF showing up with BKB, Blink double damage, Orc Warden with all his items. it was just too much to deal with. Yeah, those two heroes topping the damage from that fight. Nightstalker did a great job as well, just tanking a lot of damage and just being in the front lines, helping set up all those kills. So, successful fight for RNG. But we do see what EHOME can do. It was a very scrappy, all over the place fight. Xingqiu was just on the back lines, wreaking havoc. He basically set up and got all the kills for EHOME in that fight. But he's only going to get scarier, I feel like, as this game goes on.
Yeah, Xingqiu 5-1-4 can't do it all though, and it seemed like Xiao's positioning was, you know, right in between the entire side of RNG. And with that, they also took a stack here. This was like a 3 or 4 stack on the Ancients, and a 2 or 3 stack here on the camp above it. A lot going right for RNG after that fight.
Yeah. Well, once again, you take a fight and then you can just fall back and keep farming. I don't feel like RNG are looking to take fights and immediately turn it into towers or objectives. They're happy to just keep scaling late game. Their timing is mostly the Arc Warden BKB. He's not in any rush to buy it, but once he gets that, he's pretty unstoppable in these fights. The Viper does have the Aghanim Scepter, so it can slow attack speed and movement speed through BKB, which is kind of nice. But that's really about all they've got.
It's just the Tempest level.
Yep. I'm not even gonna bother fighting it as it expires. RNG's. This is one of the pace of this game really, to me, says they did not buy enough Midas on the dire side. This Nightstalker, if he had a Midas right now, would be at least 2 levels higher, and would probably have about the same items. He'd probably be finishing his BKB around now, and maybe that's an issue in itself. But he hasn't actually used his BKB, so I think he could have even risked getting his BKB a couple minutes slower and bought a Midas, and he'd be in a way better position.
Do you think it was the right route for Ego to be this heavy on utility, where he's got the Force Staff as well as the Guardian Greaves?
I just don't think Venno is very good with damage items anymore. He used to have like a plus 50 or plus 60 damage talent, and you could go like this Hurricane Pike BKB right-click build, but his talents have changed so that he's better with the utility build, it feels like. I don't know about going full pipe and stuff. I'd almost rather see like Ags or something to get some damage, but I don't think you can go like right-click damage on the hero.
Spark Brave actually reveals the position here of Tian Min, and he's in a lot of trouble, but then the Yules comes out with a Requiem right on top of Ego. He's already out of this fight. And then the Razes come in, they'll get the kill on Innocence. The silence is through on Xiao, but the BKB being popped here by Flyby. And they were looking for more. They got 2 quick ones in the bag here for RNG, and I mean, they are very much leading this game. And they may only say 4,000 net worth, but it feels a lot more than that.
Yeah, I mean, all this 6,000 gold in Midas on the home side. RNG, they've got 2,000 gold worth of Midas, but it's a hero that also likes the attack speed a lot in the Arc Warden, so it just doesn't feel like EHOME's looking like they're getting scarier as they get closer to late game. All 3 of the heroes with Midas are like semi-carries. The Tiny's got a Lotus Orb. Like, it's not like a bad item, but it just feels like somebody needs to try and scale. Like, go for like a Daedalus AC type build or something on Tiny. I don't know what the ideal build is, but I just don't think it's Lotus Orb.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Feels like they're lacking in a lot of these areas here for EHOME, and RNG doing a great job. I mean, again, it stems to the fact that they let Monet just have the time of his life on the map.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, this game is, yeah, RNG have a good draft. They're outplaying their opponent. I don't think EHOME's making like crazy mistakes like we saw Vici Gaming doing earlier. But ultimately, EHOME's draft has some issues that they're struggling to overcome.
Radiant's bottom tower
Here comes
is under attack.
RNG, smoked up. It is still nighttime.
Yeah, they'll spot Innocence. The Stormhammer comes out on a Flyby with another Tuxin as well as the Viper Strike, but the BKB is going to be popped afterwards. Flyby backs off, and let's see if they go to re-engage. EHOME are actually sticking nearby. They've got Viper Strike again, so...
SF has the Requiem, BKB Requiem, so if he catches somebody in a Yules who doesn't have BKB, he could just instantly delete somebody. Or at least do a lot of damage. Like, this Venomancer only has 1400 health, so I think SF sees him, he's going in.
Hey, Ego would have liked to not have that happen again. Got absolutely destroyed.
Yep, that combo.
And without the BKB, you just know what's coming. You're spinning in the air and you're like, yep, alright. This is it.
Radiant's bottom tower.
There's no way out. I just... With 1400 health, it's almost guaranteed.
Yeah, that's the level 3 Requiem deletes you.
Orange again just pressuring over bottom. They also see Innocence. They're going to roam around the back. Flava comes over with the silence coming through into the Codball. They've got the dome out as the Tempest Double trying to do all it can, and he finally runs down Tian Ming. And then they've got the Cyclone. They'll get the kill here on Innocence. They'll also take out Zhao Wei. And now they'll look for Jinky with the BKB being popped by Flyby. They look over at Ego, who will also get Cycloned up. The Lotus Sword trying to do something, but there's the Requiem right over the top. They'll get themselves 4 kills, make it 5. Full team wipe here for RNG. And they lose nothing.
And they're going to push high ground very fast. Shadow Fiend plus Arc Warden, plenty of damage. They've got the bubble as well, so they're going to easily break through a lane of Rax here. Can't get multiple because of these tier 2 towers, so it's likely just going to be a Rax into like shrines, maybe a potential Roshan. And EHOME actually say, we don't want to lose our Rax. They buy back on Tiny's in queue. What's his plan here? Maybe they actually will just, yeah, they may just only get a tier 3 tower because of this buyback now.
Avalanche toss. Coming out, Will-O-Wisp gets all 5, but they've got no Viper, they've got no Venomancer. The Illuminate comes through, doing a lot of damage on Alanum. Flyby hit with the Avalanche, then the 4 staff away, and while it was a great ult from Tian Ming, it was lacking the follow.
Yep, they'll hold their tier 3 tower even, with the help of the tiny Coddle, but ultimately a little bit expensive. Now it's a 12k gold lead, and that is not what you want to see if you're a EHOME fan. RNG, on the other hand, had a great start to their day 2. They won their opening match today against Vici Gaming. They're looking good against EHOME here, and they'll totally find themselves in the winner. Keep this up.
Yeah, and I don't think they would have expected that with the teams that are here, but this is kind of what happens in, I would say, maybe non-DPC events. Things get a little bit weird, almost, where you're seeing results that maybe you're not expecting. But Setsu, oh, Zhao Wei's also got the Hex, too. Don't let him come out real far. There's that ulti pop, there's the Hex, the raid comes through, not even gonna need the Yule's Requiem, they'll get the kill. Everybody's here around him, and Zhao Wei dead for yet another minute.
Well, that is not what you want to see, as they will make another go at this bottom lane. They're just finding pick after pick, and now Lanham finally has his Vlads. His poor 5-position Brewer has been trying to finish this Vlads for 30 minutes, and he's finally there. It is going to be daytime here, so we'll see if they still try and threaten high ground.
Avalanche toss. Bye-bye. He's going to pop that BKB. He's got the Lotus Sword. A lot of things bouncing off of it, but they've got the Eels as well as the BKB. That's going to be the Requiem on top. They won't get the kill on a Jinky. The raises come through. The ulti used by Ego. And see, it really doesn't do enough, but there's the Todd getting the lowest down. Unfortunately for him, everybody's kind of out of here. They'll use the Primal Split. Tian Ming in a little bit of trouble. They'll take the tier 3, and Ego eating a lot of damage. With the Tempest Double continuing forward. Oh, Ego has to be so careful. And there's the Spark Wraith. Avalanche comes in. He was almost dead there beneath his tier 4s.
Yeah. Well, these Venom Wards doing a good job of just making it a bit annoying to push high ground, but RNG will be happy. You know, taking a tier 3, falling back, taking a shrine. They still haven't even bothered going for Roshan yet. They're not really in any rush. That's kind of, you know, they've got the BKB and Arc Warden now, and Aegis mix in there as well is probably just about GG for this game, but now they'll play it slow, steadily, knowing they have the far better late game, as we've said again and again. It just, nothing's really changing with the status quo here. The longer it goes, the worse it looks for EHOME.
Is there, what are the items that EHOME can pick up here to maybe change what we're thinking in this game kind of being over?
They need these BKBs to get short more than anything. I think you're already committed to this. We're not going to have any physical damage route, so you just try and hold out till these BKBs get down to 5 seconds. Viper's got a Kaya and Yasha queued up. I don't mind that. I think going for this Viper strike damage at level 20 will give them a lot of DPS out of the Viper. I think Venom with an Ag Scepter can give him some more damage, which would be really nice.
BKB for the Tempest double.
He just doesn't want to lose it there, and he's almost killing Zhao 8 with it too. Gets Zhao 8 very, very low.
Here comes the rest of the team. The BKB is going to be up by the real Monet. Flyby coming over the top again, searching for Ming. And they've got silence. A couple of them. Setsu comes over. We'll get the count to Ming as well as distance going down. It's going to be 2 to stand on the side of EHOME as they'll get the buybacks immediately. The Rec Room comes through. Ego, one more shot. Flyby again. Spots him. This is another great Will-O-Wisp with Jinkyu going in this time to get the kill on the Setsu. So he at least finds 20 pops. So Lotus Orb is low on health, trying to get out of this one with the Venomous Scale hitting on Aluminum. They'll finally use that Primal Split. They'll get the kill here on to Innocence. He had bought back already, as did Jinkyu. They're both dead for quite some time and out of this game practically. They've continued to move on forward. They look over at Zhao 8. The Poison Touch comes out from Afu. Ming sitting inside the trees. Not much he can do. As the Primal Split finally back to form will be Lanham. Ego trying to at least hold the game for now. They finally find Ming. Monet ends up dropping. They look over at Flyby. The Viper Strike comes in. Attempt to TP out. Is the damage there? No. He escapes.
He has the pipe. He even bought a Fairy Fire in Fountain and got Graved. He wasn't even close to dying. He never dropped below 400 health, but a little bit of panic there from RNG in the Fountain, but what a convincing fight for them. That was like 7 kills or something. They lost. They did lose both carries, SF and Orc Warden, but considering all the kills they got with buybacks, that was a 7 for 2 team fight.
4 buybacks used there from EHOME.
The crazy thing is the gold change actually was only like a 2k gold swing just because of how far ahead RNG are, and losing those 2 carries is a big gold swing. Monet gave 1800 gold. Holy shit. Ego's rich. It's only like, my buyback was worth it. I've got a new item now. His death, and I imagine SF's death was only 700, but yeah, Monet's death. I haven't seen 1800 gold kill in a long time, I feel.
Yeah, that is half an item. Something you want to pick up here, and it's going to be a heart.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know what the item is. Like, I'm a bit stuck about what item's going to change the game. I don't feel like heart's amazing, but I also don't know what stands out as being significantly better. I mentioned the Ag Scepter, but even that doesn't feel great when you're against Pipe, Greaves, Dazzle, Heal. They've got a lot of sustain on this guy's side, so he's going for sustain of his own. He says, "I'll manage your sustain time," and looking to survive against the. I think more than anything, this is against the SF Yule's Requiem combo. The heart actually gives him a way to get out of it, at least to survive it.
With the heart, and he also took the +7 Poison Nova duration. So, could you go Ags after the heart? He's Silken Shivas, but
could. I think
that opportunity.
The life steal just doesn't feel that good against burst damage, like the SF Requiem. You're not really getting much value out of the spell life.
Oh, the warding. She doesn't get to the low ground. That's a huge problem. The Lotus Orb comes out, the Force Stamp a little bit higher. The Avalanche comes in on a flyby. He is lucky to get out of that.
They saw him blink and just assumed he was out. They didn't realize that he messed up his blink, because there was only Nightstalk who stood around. But Shrine goes down, and they're poised to perhaps take Roshan now. No Shrine, full map control around the area. I don't think EHOME can easily contest Roshan, although they may still try.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And it's just Monet in here. As cutting off the pass is RNG. How much they can do. I mean, it's not that quick as Roche at the moment, but as I say, they finally send some others in there to get much quicker.
This game gets tricky now. The Aegis coming to play. SF has level 25, so he's got that crazy cooldown reduction. He's got it with an Octarine core, so his Like BKB 31 second cooldown raises 4.5 second cooldown with the bonus 150 damage.
We got Jingqiu in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be hit with that Hex, trying to run away with the raises coming up with the Force Staff. Is going to put him closer to the tier 2 tower. He gets Force Staff back again with the BKB being popped by Flyby. Now, maybe EHOME looking to turn against fight into the Aegis. Look at the toss here on the Brewmaster. Platinum trying to get the Primal Split off. They've also got the Will-O-Wisp, so that keeps him inside, but the Primal Split will eventually come out with a Shallow Grave being used. It keeps him alive. They'll look to continue in towards this base as they take out the tier 2 tower mid. Right now, EHOME not losing anything, and as I say that, the Tempest doing a lot of damage here to Ego. Blink, Avalanche, toss back. BKB is going to be used. Block going again. He's got the silence on the Ego and continuing on forward with the Void. We'll see what he's able to do is Jingqiu again. Force Staff back. So he tries to move forward. He pops that BKB preemptively and doesn't really do much with it.
Yo, where the kills at, man? What's going on?
That was
nobody's dying.
Of everything for no kills.
Yeah, I want a teamfight recap, but you don't get one if there's no kills. I feel like there was like 4 BKBs used, a Primal Split, several Viper Strikes, and yeah, all right, we're good. Nobody dies, and they got a tier 2 tower. Okay, that's uneventful.
Oh, for a game like this where it's been pretty eventful the last 10 or so minutes, that it's interesting to see everything kind of come out from both sides. And alright, well, you got my tier 2.
It's hard to kill these EHOME heroes because of all the force stops. Like, Tiny gets caught out a little bit, but like Nightstalker dropping his gem to try do some dewarding here, but once with all these force stuff, anyone who's caught out just gets like double, triple force stuff out of there, and it's tricky. RNG just don't have huge burst damage outside of the SF.
Yeah, they spot Flyby. He's going to pop his KB immediately. They're in a little bit of a choke point, so they have to be careful. Setsu actually doesn't go in on this, but Monet nearby, so Wraith placed down. Again, BKB.
They're just taking these outer towers and trying to deward the map. They take out more and more of this EHOME vision.
Flyby, he is putting himself in some interesting positions when he's looking at fighting. It's his ability to get over these obstacles and just come around the back. He had been focusing T and Ming so many times in these fights.
Okay, just gonna pop the BKB on his Tempest double, send it in. Doesn't seem to care about the duration on his double. And bounty runes coming up. So 4 bounty runes for RNG. That's kind of why they. That fight was essentially about getting the last outer tower and also securing these bounty runes, because getting 4 of them. We talked about how EHOME's just not scaling. Well, RNG, they've got some more items coming their way. They've increased that 18k gold lead to 24k now. It's just getting bigger and bigger. If every 5 minutes they get all 4 bounty runes by just good map control, you know, give it 10 more minutes and suddenly this is a 30k gold lead, then 35k, and then they've got another Aegis. Then at some point they have a refresher shard. So this game just gets more and more difficult as time goes on.
So Venomous Gale with a -8 second cooldown at level 10 for the Venomancer is now going into the Octarine core. So, I mean, just trying to cut these cooldowns. And Poison Nova. 100 seconds at this point in the game is quite a bit for him. So this Octarine core not a bad choice.
Pretty great. He's got the Arcane Rune with it bottled. His cooldowns are going to be absurdly low with this.
Yeah, pretty cool for Arcane Rune. 40% cooldown reduction. Oh my. I mean, that's
there we go.
A Requiem every 22.5 seconds.
Yeah. BKB 15.75. He's just going to have Requiem creep waves to farm if he wants to.
Hex every 5.
What? 5 seconds cooldown Hex? Oh my. Holy shit, that's insane. This is like MSF sometimes. You just become the ultimate spellcaster.
Yeah, that was what we were kind of seeing with the Drow yesterday, with the 50% cooldown reduction, Arcane Rune, and like Octarine Core.
I want to see some Dagon 5 or something in there. Get some more items that can give you spells to cast.
So Tempest Double leading the way. And they'll get the dome on top of them for a moment. They still have this Aegis, but it's
gone.
You know, very low.
Ending now, I think.
And there it is. So they waited out the Aegis.
Yeah, and the Aegis isn't super important. It's more important for RNG to get a good fight. And this Arc Warden actually has item slot issues. Him having the Aegis prevented him from having his MKB Daedalus in his item build, so I don't think he's actually going to be grabbing the next Aegis unless his buyback's down, for example. Could be good on the Night Stalker, he's often in the front lines. But their ability to high ground is somewhat lacking on this RNG side. So this gold lead, you know, it's starting to stagnate a bit as they can't fully break high ground. And EHOME are, you know, they're sticking in this one. These Midases, they are helping out a little bit here because all three of their cores are sitting on 20k net worth, which is still well behind RNG, but considering the state of this game, it's not something to be feeling too terrible about.
Xingqiu went Octarine core?
He got it with the Avalanche cooldown. Nice. 3.75 cooldown on Avalanche. That's actually pretty crazy.
Is it worth the extra 25% of that amount of gold spent?
Sure, why not? It's, you know, it's your tree grab, it's your toss as well. He's not... I mean, if he'd gone for a right-click damage build, I would have liked it, but at this point, he's got a Lotus Orb, and he's not going that way, so I think he's fine with the direction he's going. He even got the Avalanche damage at level 15, so...
Look at the wrap coming up from the side of RNG. Once again, the BKB is going to be popped. He goes after TM Ming, and he'll get the Quiver Cave off with the silences coming through, but he's going to end up dying. They'll go after Xingqiu, who's got the Lotus Orb popped, but he gets Requiemed and cleaned up by Setsu. They look for an Innocence. That's going to be 3 heroes. They'll buy back immediately here on to Innocence. At least try to hold or do something. You don't have Xingqiu for 90 seconds. He just bought out on the Octarine core. And
perhaps that answers your question.
Sure.
Yeah. Is it worth the Octarine core? I think right now it's feeling like it's perhaps not.
The silences are on both the Viper as well as the Venomancers. They're continuing to just invade this base. They're past the rack. They've got the Eagles once again under the Viper. BKB is going to be popped one more time on Setsu. They'll corral them into the base. Xiaowei almost dying. The Viper straight through on a flyby. Another Toxin's going to be laid down. They'll finally get themselves at least one set of racks.
Got another Requiem in 5.
Oh, Innocent. That's a dieback.
They're just going to get Megas here. This might be the game. They've just gotten too many kills, no buybacks. And the low cooldowns on SF means if they go back in, SF has another Blink Requiem with BKB.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks.
Man. This is possibly the end here for EHOME. They still don't have Xingqiu for another 34 seconds, and they're going to lose Xiaowei. He does have buyback and will use it. The Will-O-Wisp comes out. It's going to be immediately destroyed. The BKB being popped here by Setsu. And again, the Blinding Light comes through. Go on the run and no way out. He's also got a buyback. BKB is going to be popped here by Xiaowei. Throws the Viper Strike here at flyby. 12 seconds, so they've almost held out till...
They're almost there.
Xingqiu is back.
Yeah, they don't have much to show for it, though.
And there's the Hex coming through. And for a moment, Setsu is broken, standing in the Nether Toxin. They finally get Xingqiu back. We'll see what they're able to do with that, with the Viper Strike being thrown at him. Avalanche toss. Let's see what they can do. Can they get the kill? He's low inside the base. The Avalanche comes out once again from Xingqiu to get the kill on Alanum. He's got his buyback in 83 seconds with the ulti pop by one more time. But the Viper Strike is going to be thrown. Nether Toxin on 3 of these heroes. They've got the BKB as well as the Requiem coming in one more time. Setsu's going to be destroying TMing with raises coming out onto X-Ego. They'll get the kill there. They'll take out Xingqiu. The only one alive is going to be Xiaowei. But now buying back will be Xingqiu. So he's back alive one more time with the Xingqiu being called by EHOME. It's not going to matter as Xingqiu continues to try and charge in exactly Lanham, but there's no charging instant successfully. He doesn't end up dying because the GG call.
Oh, that was a pretty fun fight. I was just like watching the Shadow Fiend player perspective, and he's just zipping around all over the place. Like he's got so many buttons to push, spells and items on such short cooldown, and he does it so well. Setsu, we saw it earlier today when he played the OD, and here on the Shadow Fiend, he looks very good. Like he's